and thank you guys for tuning in to Dani Changg. So today I actually have one of my homeboys. He'll just tell you a little bit about his podcast and what he does, and yeah, you guys check him out.
Yeah, so I have a podcast called the Bad Hombres Podcast. Just pretty much helping guys, embrace their masculinity in a world where everybody just tells you to not do that, pretty much, and how to, be a better person, be better in the dating scene. And yeah, it's called the Bad Hombres. Check it out. If you go to Bad Hombres Podcast on YouTube, you'll find it. And then you'll find the one we did, which is about ghosting.
Yes.
That was a pretty good podcast. You guys should check it out for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I like your description, because when you talked about that, you're telling guys to be more masculine.
Yeah.
Right? I actually like that, because I actually feel like a lot of guys are not as masculine.
Well, like
as before.
Society and the social condition it is right now, it's betaizing and feminizing men. That's all they're doing. And when you talk about embracing your masculinity and try to find the alpha male within you, a lot of things come up, like toxic masculinity and things like that. You don't have to be toxic masculinity, but
yes, exactly.
You need to embrace being a man.
Exactly, right? because you don't have to be toxic. Like, I think people think that if you're super masculine, like you're probably like a toxic masculine man who just thinks, oh, women belong in the kitchen. But I don't think that's what we're saying. We're talking about just men embracing their alpha role and really just tapping into their
I just think I'm all for equality. I think that if we're both doing the same job, we should get paid just the same. The believes that a man should be the pilot of the plane. A woman should be the co-pilot. But woman like a man who leads. And honestly, when a woman calls the shots, she kind of loses respect for the guy, I feel like.
You know what? I think every woman is different, because I do think that some men prefer a woman that leads them and some women prefer to lead their man. Because I've seen relationships like that where I know it's the woman running the relationship.
Yeah, but she's not happy. I've met a lot of women that calls the shots, and usually there's no sex in those relationships.
Really?
You talk to their husbands are usually sexually deprived, and not only does she call the shots, is there a lot of men are scared of their woman. God forbid you show up there with a car or a new television or something.
Well, not to be rude, you shouldn't be getting a new car without consulting your girl. If you guys live together and are doing things together, I don't think you should show up. But anyway, I know we probably differ on that. Yeah, you see? And that was like one of my exes, and that drove me crazy about him, because I'm like, do you consult me? Do you care what I think about anything? That kind of pissed me off, to be honest.
I think that I would get you involved. Women like to be involved. Women like to be part of the project. But they like a man who leads, right? So I could say, hey, baby, I'm getting a Mercedes. You think I should pick the blue one or the black one? At least give you some options,
Give you some options.
But
so that's their only option?
Well, it depends. I mean, I don't know how...
So ladies, in the comments, let us know if you'd be okay with this scenario, okay? Let us know.
I'm giving you the perspective of a single guy, right? So if there's kids involved, it's no longer about me and the girl, it's about what's good for the kids. Now, if you're in a financial position where like it doesn't matter, then who cares, right? But if we have 3 kids and it's
if you're married or you guys are common law, then you don't think you should consult with somebody, okay?
I keep her in the loop, but if she likes an Audi and I want a Mercedes, my money. Like, I want to get a Mercedes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Well, it's my money, like.
Yeah. You know what? And that's that's the beauty of it, right? We're seeing the different perspectives, right? Because you and I will not agree on that topic, because I would be pissed if the guy's like, yeah, so I'm getting this, but like, you can choose the color. And that's like your only choice. Unless, as you said, we're balling and we just have money for days, then who cares?
I know you say that, but then when you have a guy that is like, what do you want, baby? Whatever you want.
Oh, if it's always just whatever you want, that gets annoying too. Real talk. But there has to be a happy medium. There has to be a happy medium. Because I've had that type of guy. And that drove me nuts. Well, that's why we're not together, right? So so that drove me crazy.
Yeah. But speaking of that, do you think it's possible to have the one.
You know what? I was actually thinking, okay, let's just roll with this new topic. But yes, our actual topic of today is about soulmates.
Yeah.
And do you believe that there is actually a soulmate? Anyway, go on with what you were saying. Sorry. Yeah. Get comfortable.
Yeah. So I think there's soulmates. I don't think there's such a thing. I definitely don't think that. I think that we change a lot.
Yeah.
And who we are today, who we are today is compatible. But that may not be the case
10 years from now. Oh yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of people that they're compatible, they have kids, and after the kids are grown and leave their house, there's a lot of divorce.
Yeah.
Because the only thing they had in common was raising the children. Now the kids are gone.
And now it's like
they find that.
What are we gonna do now? We don't have anything in common.
No. Like you are a completely different person. I'm a completely different person.
And you asked me too. What do I think one person has everything? Oh, obviously not. But I think even people that believe in soulmates don't necessarily think you guys are gonna have every single thing in common. I would hope not, because I think that's somewhat unrealistic. But I do agree with you that I don't believe that there is such a thing as a soulmate. But what I do believe, right, is there are people that you're more compatible with than others, and that after time you guys can probably build such a bond that you become soulmates through growing together. You know what I mean? Because if you are able to have a healthy marriage that lasts 30, 40 years, you don't think that was a soulmate? Because you guys were able to grow together. Yeah. Right? And not every marriage is happy, but I'm talking about a happy one that lasts that long, where it's more good than bad. There's going to be good and bad in every relationship. Yeah. But if at the end of the day you're happy that you chose this person, then don't you think that was a soulmate?
Well, yeah, it's like the whole soulmate concept is kind of like your calling concept. You feel like when you're 20, oh, my calling is doing this, but I believe in 30 is different. So it's always constantly changing.
But do you think our calling really changes that much?
It evolves, it pivots.
It
right?
pivots.
You cannot, like, what you think your calling is in life, it's just to be married to that idea that this is what I was born to do and that's all I'm going to do. It's not even healthy to be so fixated, you know?
To be so fixated on one thing?
Yeah, and if you think that person is your soulmate and she's your whole world, well, it puts a lot of pressure on the other person too.
Well, that's when it comes to also that you have to, make yourself happy. And then when you're two happy people, then you can, be happy together, right?
I think when a relationship works is because they're both independent people. Yeah. That when they get together, they're happy. Yes. But I don't put my happiness in your hands because it's in my hands,
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you grow up, you watch all these Disney movies and they're happily ever after, and then you go to your home and they tell you that's how it's gonna be. And man, I would say the majority of time that's not true. Like, it takes a lot of work.
It does.
I think especially for guys, it's very important because it's very easy for a guy to let go and be comfortable. Yes. And guys think that when you have game is when you're able to pick up girls. I think when you have game is when you can get your girl to be head over heels for you after a year of dating, 2 years, 5 years. Yeah. When a girl has dated you after 5 years and she looks at you like, oh, I love this guy. Love this guy. Look at him. I respect that guy because that guy just being able to maintain that. Oh yeah, because it's easy just to catch people's attention. I'm sure you or I could go out, we can catch someone's attention, but then it's a different thing to be able to hold that attention. That's harder. That's a real man. Like it's to get a woman like that to like you for that many years. It's a lot harder than to get one today, one tomorrow. Oh yeah, 100%. And you have to keep investing too. Yeah. Like both people have to keep investing, keep growing together, keep supporting one another, all of those things, right? Because otherwise it's not gonna last. Yeah, I love giving relationship advice, especially because I'm single. Because they say coaches don't play, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know what? There actually are quite a few. I think some of the big gurus, they are single. Like some of the other YouTubers that I can think of that are relationship experts. Well, I just when I'm single and I meet girls that are recently after a breakup or just right at the end of a breakup. You know, I think that when a breakup happens, one of the two third people is already checked out months before.
Oh yeah. And whoever was checked out before, once they break up, they're fine. It's the person that wasn't checked out yet that's usually experiences the like.
Well, there's two phases that they go through. That you have the person that got dumped. He goes through the stages of grief, kind of, right?
Yeah,
Which is
definitely.
denial, negotiation, and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And then you have the dumper, as they call it, and they also have their stages that they go to. The first stage,
maybe guilt, even in some cases.
There's
if they know they've caused like a lot of pain to the person that they're breaking up with.
So that's the first stage they go to. So it's guilt. They dump somebody. You have guilt. After guilt is a sense of relief.
Oh yeah.
I'm free. Like I didn't want to hurt this person, but I'm free. And usually,
I've experienced that before.
Usually that's a couple, hookups and random one night stands. It involves, that's. And they do things they've never done before. Maybe they didn't sleep with the ex-boyfriend that they just dumped for months.
For like months, yeah.
And then they had like sex 10 times in a weekend with somebody else, which makes it exciting over here.
Yeah.
It happens.
That definitely happens. There's definitely seasons, and everyone has their different way of grieving and going through the process, because like you say that like it's relief, right?
It's relief.
But then also part of it could also be like your way of grieving as well. Like you think you're just like excited or whatever, but like if you're acting out of your character and doing stuff you wouldn't normally do, don't you think that's your way of
the majority of girls
grieving?
that dump guys,
yeah,
they end up with a guy who's the complete opposite. Right? That's usually what happens. And then you go through guilt, you go through the relief, you go through the excitement part, which is single, I got all this attention now, I'm in better shape, I don't have to answer to anybody anymore.
Yep.
And then after that, you start thinking about the person. There's times we have withdrawals. Yeah, a lot of times it happens.
I think after after I went through that, then I was kind of like, oh, okay, now I want a new boyfriend again, right? And to be honest,
it happens
because like you have that little time where you kind of don't. I think most people probably don't want to be with anyone right away after. But you know what? Some people like being in. But some people do that. They just like being in relationship after relationship, and not really taking the time. But I liked to take the time first. But then after that, like after like a year, I was like, okay, so I'm ready for a new boyfriend now. But then it was like, oh, the dating scene has changed. It's not so like quick to find someone as I thought it would have been, right? Because it's easy to get it's easy to just get someone to chill with or to whatever, and it's a lot harder to actually get the relationship, like kind of like what you said, how men hold the key to relationships and women hold the key to
sex. So men hold the keys for relationships. The problem is a lot of guys, when they really like a girl and they ask her out, you automatically lose power. And this is another thing, guys. Let her make the first move. Don't ask her to be your girlfriend, because the moment you do that is the moment you give her all the control of this dynamic that we have here. I'm giving it all in your hands now.
What do you mean? Okay, if you know she likes you too, then how are you giving her all the control by asking her to be your girlfriend?
Because she knows you. She knows I like her now. Like that.
Oh, that's so gamey.
You have to game them.
No, I'm honestly, I keep saying this.
There's something called the string cat. It's like this, but you have to.
No, I don't think you have to always game.
You have to have game. You have to. When you're a guy, you have to embrace.
I think with fuckboys, you have to have game. No. I don't think in general. Okay, at first, you can't just be gushing over some guy you just met. But I think in general, that's just not a healthy thing to do. You have to get to know him. But once it's been established that I like you, you like me.
Well, listen, guys, let me give you another advice. Don't take dating advice from a female.
Oh my god, you're gonna get people not to listen to my channel.
No, you can.
Why did I let you on again? Okay, let's hear this. Okay, why not? Because what? Because
it's just
I
very.
think it's an immature female that's not gonna work with. If you're working with honestly, I think a lot of girls.
The reason. I'll tell you the reason why.
They might be still gamey. when you're in your 30s as a female, you don't want time. You don't have time for the games. If I notice a guy's gaming with me, I'll just drop off. I have no time for games.
You need to game with women.
Huh?
You need to game them.
No. Like,
it's very important.
Okay, the thing I will do is I'll make sure at the beginning I'm not going to be the one messaging you and contacting you more than you contact me. So I don't think that's gamey though. I think I just want to make sure that it's you putting in the effort to get me.
It's like tomatoes.
But once you think, oh, is that gaming?
Yes, gaming.
Okay, how is that gaming? I just feel like I want to know that you're making the effort. But I'm not. If you ask, oh, do I like you? I'm not going to be like. I'm deciding. No, I'll say, yeah, so far from what I know of you, like, you seem like a really cool guy, but we're just still in the getting to know each other phase. And I'm being dead serious. I'm not even being gamey when I say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have my boyfriend now, and I felt like, honestly, like, I feel like we just flowed into it. Like, I don't feel like he was gamey. I don't feel like I was gamey. And I feel like most times, when it transitions into a relationship, at least for me, it's a very smooth process. Mm-hmm. When it's going up and down and it's gamey, I find that never works out for me.
No, of course, yeah. Absolutely. It's usually very smooth. It's just things that start aligned. Mm-hmm. But you need to hold your frame when you're a guy. You need to hold that. That's the most important thing you can have, is your frame.
What do you mean?
Well, meaning like, I'm still the man.
Okay.
You know, I'm not gonna give you all the power of this relationship. You know, I'm not moving to your place. You can move to my place. I'm not moving to your place.
Really?
Yes.
But what if the girl has a place and you don't got a place? And her place is a nicer place.
Well, I'll become the man. I'll go there. I'll make sure I contribute financially in some way that I'm the man of the house.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I actually respect that.
Yeah.
Because if you are moving into my house as the man, you really should be taking on, to me, that man role of the house.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to move in and, come into, my house.
But I don't think I would move into a girl's place.
You know what?
I have a lot of pride. Like, I won't.
It's so interesting. I think, honestly, if it makes more sense to go into my house, I don't have an issue. But yes, I feel like you should be treating this now like this is our house, and you should be taking that role as the head. That's what I would want. So
I think guys should always be working on themselves, and I don't think that asking the girl to be your girlfriend, I think she should always ask. When you have the control of that dynamic, you need to hold that.
Well, I think most of the time girls do ask, so what are we, and stuff like that.
When she starts asking those questions,
then you can ask her?
Then you can say, you know what, yeah, I'm feeling it, but she has to make the first move.
Well, isn't that making the first move?
That is the first move.
Oh, okay. And then you can then ask.
If you really like the girl, you can say, hey, yeah, I like where this is going.
Yeah.
Let me see your phone. Let me see, you ask her, let me see you want to be my girlfriend? Let me see your phone.
And then can she also say, let me see yours?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, okay. If you don't want to show me your phone, that's fine. We'll just keep things the way they are.
Well, but the thing is, okay, this is what I think, okay? Everyone, when you start dating someone, has to clean up. I gotta clean up, you gotta clean up. Because everyone has people that they're talking to or something. Whether they're in a situationship, whether they just, hitting some other girl, like, you know what I mean? Like, hitting as in that.
Yeah.
Or just casually flirting. Something's going on both sides, probably before you guys met. So in that process of the talking stage, which I've talked about before in other videos, you have a cleanup process where you clean that up. And then I think once you actually make it official, that's when you really cut off all the other crap.
3 months after you make it official, guys.
Oh, wow.
Don't delete any numbers. I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking you.
Oh my god.
It's like, what, 4 months before you post a picture together? The way I see it, it's like, when you're pregnant, you're supposed to wait 3 months to tell people. So it's 100%.
Yeah.
I think that's your relationship should be like that too.
Yeah, I getcha.
You know what I mean? It's like, if we post a picture the same weekend, we decided to make it official. There's a lot of like negativity. Oh, look, this is not gonna last. Let's see how long this lasts. I don't want.
Well, you know what though? There's always going to be that negativity. But for me, you have to think like, do you care? Are you going to actually be swayed by that? Because there's always going to be someone saying something. I saw a meme the other day is that whenever you're in a new relationship, someone's going to say, oh, well, I slept with her, or oh, she ain't that cute, or whatever. Everyone's going to always have something to say about your new guy or new girl. Some will be positive, some will be negative. But at the end of the day, it's how you feel about them, you know? And you can't be swayed by that. Because now I feel like those things wouldn't sway me. Even if someone was like, oh, he was a, like, you know, hypothetically, if someone was like, oh, he was a hoe, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be like, okay. Maybe when you knew him, that was the case. But I don't find so.
Never thought I could be so unselfish, 'cause I gave you everything. Gave you all that I had, now you want someone else. Then again, I should've known you had problems with commitment. Confrontation became consistent. Can't believe I thought you was different.